Meantime, President Trump has signed his second executive order instituting a travel ban for potential immigrants, and there is a lot of finger-pointing going on tonight over the president's accusations that his predecessor had the Trump Tower phones tapped. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts has all the details on a busy night. Good evening, John.
Brett, good evening to you. The White House announced today that President Trump will ask the courts to revoke his initial immigration bill, the one that's been mired in the courts now in some 48 different cases for weeks, and that he's going to try it all over again. The president laid low on the new executive order, signing it in private, out of sight of the cameras, leaving the rollout to his lieutenants.
While no system can be made completely infallible, the American people can have high confidence we are identifying ways to improve the vetting process and thus keep terrorists from entering our country.
The new order aims to do the same thing as the first one, keep certain people with no previous status in the U.S. and who are currently overseas out of the country. Today, the Attorney General offered new evidence of the need to temporarily ban all refugees from the U.S.
Today, more than 300 people, according to the FBI, who came here as refugees are under an FBI investigation today for potential terrorism-related activities.
The first executive order caused chaos at immigration checkpoints before being halted by the courts. While opponents call the new order more of the same, the White House insists this one will pass legal muster with none of the confusion of the initial rollout.
I have spent much of the day today on the phone with members of Congress, the leadership, explaining the ins and outs of this EO, and I did the same thing last week. So there should be no surprises, whether it's in the media or on Capitol Hill.
The White House again today offered no evidence to back up President Trump's extraordinary assertion on Saturday that his predecessor had green-lighted wiretapping Trump Tower during the closing weeks of the election. But officials from the president on down called on Congress to investigate.
Let's investigate this and see where it leads. So let's have the House and Senate Intelligence Committees do their work and think about whether to include this, but the president has made clear that he would like there to be an investigation of any possible abuses.
Fox News has learned that the FBI leadership asked the Justice Department to send out a tweet refuting the president's claims, that Director James Comey believes the assertion to be false and must be corrected. But senior White House staff indicated the president's not buying what Comey is trying to sell.
Does President Trump accept the FBI director's denial?
You know, I don't think he does, George.
Republican members of Congress walked a difficult line between backing the president and reporting what they knew to be true.
I've seen no evidence of the allegations we've seen in the media. That doesn't mean that none of these things happened. It simply means I haven't seen that yet.
Democrats rejected the idea that the president was being spied on, but said, either way, it looks bad.
If he falsely spread this kind of misinformation, that is so wrong. It's beneath the dignity of the presidency. If it's true, it's even worse for the president, because that means that a federal judge, independently elected, has found probable cause that the president or people on his staff have had probable cause to have broken the law or to have interacted with a foreign agent.
If the president was simply trying to change the subject away from the disastrous end of a week for him, mission accomplished. But in doing so, he has ignited a whole new line of questioning that could consume his staff for days to come. Brett?
John Roberts live on the North Lawn. John, thank you.